Have you ever been told that walking is the best thing you can do for your health, that it's safe, gentle, and the perfect exercise for seniors? For decades, doctors, magazines, and health influencers have praised walking as the gold standard for older adults. And for good reason. It's low impact, it gets the heart pumping, and it helps keep you active. But what if I told you that too much walking after the age of 70 might actually be doing more harm than good? It's a disturbing thought, especially if you've built your entire routine around daily walks. But new insights in geriatric medicine are showing us something surprising. Movement isn't just about quantity, it's about quality and balance. In fact, many seniors who walk every day are unknowingly exposing themselves to joint damage, muscle imbalances, fatigue, and even cardiovascular strain. These aren't just minor side effects. They can lead to chronic pain, falls, and hospital visits that could have been prevented. Let's break this down. As you age, your body loses cushioning in your joints, your cartilage thins, your muscles shrink, your bones become more fragile. Walking, especially on hard surfaces or for long durations, can place repetitive stress on areas already struggling to support your weight, like your knees, hips, and lower back. Over time, what started as a healthy habit becomes a source of silent wear and tear, especially if you don't strengthen the muscles that support your stride. But it's not just the joints that suffer. Walking primarily works the same muscles over and over: your quads, calves, and some hip flexors. But what about your glutes, your core, your posture muscles? These are essential for stability, balance, and fall prevention. When they're left out of your movement routine, they weaken quietly. And that's where the risk of a sudden fall skyrockets. Even your heart can feel the pressure. Seniors with undiagnosed heart conditions or poor circulation may be pushing their cardiovascular system too far without realizing it. One study found that older adults who walk long distances without rest experience something called cardiovascular drift, where heart rate continues to climb without an increase in performance, leading to fatigue, dizziness, and increased fall risk. So, does this mean you should stop walking? Absolutely not. Walking still has powerful benefits, but it must be done intelligently with the right supporting exercises, proper footwear, surfaces, and rest days. And that's exactly what we'll explore in this video. We'll look at the hidden dangers of excessive walking after 70, the warning signs to watch for, and the 4 doctor-recommended movement alternatives that are safer and more effective for long-term health. If you're walking every day and still feeling stiff, tired, or unstable, this might be the missing piece you've never been told about. If you care much about healthy life, I recommend you hit subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. 4 top reasons why too much walking after 70 might harm you. Number 1, the myth of more walking is always better. For most people over 70, walking feels like a safe, manageable way to stay active. And, on the surface, it is. But here's the truth many seniors haven't been told. Walking alone is not a complete form of exercise, and in some cases, doing more of it can quietly create problems instead of preventing them. Let's start with a popular belief. If you want to stay healthy, just keep walking. That message is everywhere, from doctors' offices to senior magazines. But many of those recommendations are decades old and based on outdated ideas of aging. Today, geriatric physical therapists and movement scientists are seeing a different story, especially in people over 70. Who walk daily but still experience falls, pain, stiffness, and weakness. Why is that happening? It starts with the limited range of motion and muscle groups used during walking. When you walk, you primarily engage your quadriceps, calves, and hip flexors, but you leave out critical stabilizing muscles like your glutes, hamstrings, and deep core muscles. Over time, these underused muscles begin to weaken, and that weakness throws off your body's alignment and balance. This imbalance increases the chance of stumbling, struggling with stairs, or developing lower back pain, even if you're walking thousands of steps each day. Then there's the issue of repetition. Walking is a repetitive motion activity, meaning it places repeated stress on the same joints over and over again. For someone in their 40s, the body can usually handle that wear, but after 70, cartilage begins to break down. Ligaments get looser, recovery takes longer. That daily 3-mile walk might not feel like a marathon, but to your knees, hips, and ankles, it's closer than you think. Now consider the surface you're walking on. Many seniors walk on hard concrete or uneven paths. These surfaces don't absorb shock well. Instead, they bounce that force right back up through your joints. This kind of impact over time can trigger micro-injuries that cause inflammation, stiffness, and even arthritis flare-ups. Another overlooked factor is walking posture. Many seniors unconsciously lean forward, look down, or hold their arms stiffly when walking. These posture issues add strain to the neck, shoulders, and spine, which can cause headaches, dizziness, or even nerve compression. And yet, because walking feels so natural, very few people stop to assess their form. Here's what you need to remember. Just because something feels safe doesn't mean it's helping you. Walking can still be a healthy habit, but only when it's balanced with strength training, flexibility work, and rest. That's the part most people over 70 are missing. Number 2. Joint damage and hidden inflammation after 70? Most seniors don't notice it at first. A bit of morning stiffness, an ache in the knees after a walk, a dull nagging pain that seems to come and go. Many chalk it up to just getting older. But what if these symptoms aren't just normal aging? What if they're warning signs that walking is wearing down your joints and triggering silent inflammation? After age 70, your joints aren't what they used to be. The cartilage that cushions your bones begins to thin, and the synovial fluid, the natural lubricant that keeps your joints gliding smoothly, starts to dry up. This means that every step you take creates a bit more friction than it used to. Multiply that by thousands of steps a day, and over time, the wear and tear effect can become serious. For people walking long distances or on hard surfaces, the risk is even higher. With every step, the joints in your knees, hips, and ankles absorb impact. When the cushioning is diminished, those joints absorb more force than they can handle, which leads to microtrauma, tiny, invisible injuries to your joint tissues. These don't cause pain right away, but they trigger inflammation deep in the joint, and if the inflammation isn't addressed, it builds up quietly, contributing to osteoarthritis, swelling, stiffness, and long-term damage. This is especially true if your walking routine lacks variation. Walking the same route at the same speed with the same gait puts the exact same strain on the same parts of your body every single day. Over time, this creates uneven stress loads, especially if you already have postural imbalances or old injuries. The result? One knee may start hurting more than the other. Your hips may click, you may start limping slightly without realizing it. That's your body trying to compensate for deeper issues. And yet, many seniors ignore these signs. They keep walking, thinking they're doing the right thing. Unfortunately, undiagnosed joint inflammation is one of the leading causes of reduced mobility in older adults. According to research published in the Journal of the American Geriatrics Society, chronic joint pain is linked not only to physical decline, but also to loss of independence and increased risk of falls. So, how can you tell if your walking routine is doing damage? Watch for persistent soreness that lasts longer than a day, swelling or puffiness around the joints, a grinding or clicking sound in the knees or hips, increasing discomfort during or after your walk. If you're experiencing any of these, it may be time to rethink your routine. Don't stop moving, but do start balancing your walking with joint-friendly activities like aquatic therapy, stretching, or strength work that helps rebuild support around the joints. Number 3. Cardiovascular strain in older walkers. We often think of walking as the perfect heart exercise for older adults, and in many cases it is. But after age 70, the cardiovascular system becomes more delicate, and what once was a harmless stroll can quietly push your heart into dangerous territory. Let's start with the basics. As you age, your heart muscle naturally becomes less efficient. The arteries stiffen, blood vessels narrow, and your heart's ability to pump oxygen-rich blood with each beat declines. This doesn't mean you're sick. It's simply part of the aging process. But it does mean that any activity requiring sustained circulation, like long walks, can place more strain on your heart than you might feel in the moment. This is especially true if you already have undiagnosed conditions, like atrial fibrillation, a common irregular heartbeat in seniors, mild heart failure, or blocked arteries. These can often exist without major symptoms until your body is put under stress. And here's the catch. Walking for 30-60 minutes may not feel strenuous, but for your aging heart, it can be a marathon-level challenge. A phenomenon called cardiovascular drift often goes unnoticed in older walkers. This is when, during prolonged walking, your heart rate slowly rises even though your pace stays the same. It's a sign that your body is struggling to keep up. Add in dehydration, heat, or a slight incline, and your heart may be working far harder than it should be, without you realizing it. Why is this dangerous? Because it leads to chronic fatigue, dizziness, shortness of breath, and even chest tightness or falls. Seniors may brush these symptoms off as just getting older, but they can be early warnings of overexertion or hidden cardiovascular issues. Let's also consider how medications factor in. Many older adults are on blood pressure pills, beta blockers, or diuretics. These can alter how your heart responds to exercise, how much fluid your body retains, and how you recover. Taking a long walk without understanding how these meds interact with your heart's workload can increase the risk of arrhythmias or sudden drops in blood pressure. Another issue is postural circulation, the body's ability to adjust blood flow when you change positions. For many over 70, the body's response is slower, which means standing up or turning quickly during a walk can trigger lightheadedness or even falls due to temporary drops in blood pressure. So what should you do? First, monitor your heart rate before, during, and after walking. If it climbs steadily and stays elevated even at rest, that's a sign to scale back or shorten your walks. Second, make sure you hydrate well and avoid walking during extreme heat. Finally, consider shorter interval-based walks with rest breaks and seated recovery in between. Walking doesn't have to be dangerous, but it does have to be done smartly, and for many seniors, balance is the key. Balancing movement with monitoring and walking with rest. Number 4. Muscle loss and balance decline from walking alone. Here's a harsh reality most people over 70 never hear. Walking does not prevent muscle loss. In fact, relying on walking alone as your main form of exercise can allow essential muscles to weaken, and those muscles are the very ones that protect you from dangerous falls, frailty, and sudden health decline. When you walk, you primarily use your quadriceps, calves, and hip flexors. These muscles get worked over and over with each step, but walking doesn't effectively train your glutes, hamstrings, core, or upper body, the muscle groups that are most important for balance, posture, lifting, and protecting your joints. This means you could walk every single day and still lose critical muscle mass in the areas that matter most. This is particularly dangerous because after age 60, your body naturally begins to experience sarcopenia, the age loss of skeletal muscle. According to the National Institute on Aging, older adults can lose up to 15% of muscle mass per decade after 70 if they don't actively work to maintain it. And walking simply doesn't provide the resistance needed to stimulate true muscle preservation. What does this mean in real life? You may notice that walking feels fine, but getting out of a low chair, climbing stairs, or carrying groceries has become harder. That's because you're maintaining your endurance but losing your strength. And when strength declines, your balance declines too. Your body becomes slower to respond when you trip, your reflexes dull, and your risk of falling increases dramatically. In fact, a major study in the Journal of Gerontology found that fall risk doubled in adults over 70 who only did cardiovascular exercise and skipped strength or balance training. The scary part is that most of these participants believed they were doing enough simply by walking regularly. It's also important to understand that walking doesn't challenge your brain's balance system the way other exercises do. Activities like Tai Chi, resistance training, or stability exercises activate multiple sensory systems: your inner ear, your visual system, and the proprioceptors in your feet. These systems coordinate to keep you upright and agile, but walking in a straight line on the same route every day doesn't train those systems. Over time, they dull from underuse. Even posture suffers. Walking without core engagement, especially while leaning forward or looking down, can weaken the spine, tighten the hip flexors, and increase back pain. This shuffle walk posture is common in older adults and is a sign that the muscles meant to support the spine and pelvis are fading quietly. So what's the solution? Combine walking with muscle building and balance-focused movements. Just 20-30 minutes 2 or 3 times per week of strength exercises using resistance bands, light dumbbells, or body weight can preserve and even rebuild crucial muscle. Add gentle balance training like heel-to-toe walks, side steps, or Tai Chi, and you create a foundation for real mobility and independence. Doctor-recommended movement alternatives after 70. If you've been relying solely on walking to stay active, the good news is you don't have to stop. You just need to add smarter, safer, and more complete alternatives. Doctors and physical therapists now agree that the healthiest seniors are not the ones who walk the most, but the ones who move in varied, intentional ways. After 70, your body requires exercise that maintains joint health, builds muscle, and protects balance. All areas walking alone can't fully cover. So, what do top experts recommend instead? Let's look at 4 of the best doctor-backed alternatives that are gentle on aging joints, but powerful in preserving function. 1. Low-impact resistance training, 2 to 3 times per week. Strength training isn't just for bodybuilders. It's essential for seniors. After 70, you lose strength faster than any other time in life. Resistance training helps counteract sarcopenia and keeps muscles that walking doesn't engage, like glutes, hamstrings, and core, strong and functional. You don't need heavy weights. Simple exercises using resistance bands, like dumbbells or your own body weight, can safely challenge your muscles. Chair squats, wall push-ups, and resistance band rows are all great examples. Just 2 to 3 sessions a week can lead to fewer falls, stronger bones, and better balance. 2. Tai Chi or balance-based movement. Tai Chi isn't just relaxing. It's one of the most studied fall prevention techniques for seniors. This slow-flowing form of movement trains your neuromuscular coordination, balance, and mental focus. It strengthens the legs, improves posture, and teaches your body how to correct itself mid-step if you trip or lose balance. Doctors often recommend Tai Chi to older adults who feel unsteady on their feet, and studies show it can reduce fall risk by up to 55%. 3. Aquatic aerobics or pool-based movement. Water is one of the safest and most joint-friendly environments for seniors to exercise. The buoyancy reduces stress on knees and hips, while the resistance of the water challenges your muscles and heart. Pool-based exercises improve endurance, build strength, and reduce pain from arthritis or inflammation. Even simple movements like water walking, leg lifts, or using foam dumbbells in water can offer full-body benefits with almost no risk of impact injury. 4. Interval walking with strength circuits. If you enjoy walking, don't give it up. Just walk smarter. Instead of one long, continuous walk, break your session into shorter intervals. Walk for 5-7 minutes, then stop to do 2-3 minutes of strength movements, like calf raises, wall push-ups, or seated leg lifts. These mini circuits give your joints a break while building total body strength. You get the cardiovascular benefits of walking while protecting your muscles and boosting your coordination. Together, these 4 movement strategies address what walking leaves behind. They support full-body health, prevent overuse injuries, and are backed by clinical studies in aging adults. The best part? They're easy to modify, low risk, and designed for people who want to stay independent well into their 80s and 90s. Walking can be a wonderful form of movement. It boosts circulation, lifts your mood, and keeps you connected to the world outside. But after age 70, your body's needs change, and blindly following the old advice to just keep walking can actually lead to silent damage. The truth is, too much walking without balance, support, or variation can quietly wear down your joints, strain your heart, and cause critical muscle groups to waste away. You've seen how repeated steps stress thinning cartilage and dried up joint spaces, how overexertion can push your heart into risky territory, how walking alone doesn't strengthen your core or glutes, muscles you desperately need to stay upright, strong, and protected, and how, despite the best intentions, many older adults end up trapped in a cycle of fatigue, stiffness, and instability, even though they walk every single day. But here's the hopeful part. This cycle is not irreversible. Doctors now know that seniors who thrive long-term are not those who do the most steps. They're the ones who move with intention, variety, and joint protection in mind. Adding resistance training builds strength in places walking can't reach. Practicing Tai Chi or similar balance-focused exercises strengthens the nervous system and steadies your footing. Aquatic movement gives you cardio without punishment, and modifying your walks into shorter, interval-based circuits can give you the best of both worlds: cardiovascular health and muscular support. So the question is not whether you should walk, it's how you walk, and what else you're doing to support your aging body. If you're over 70 and you've been experiencing knee aches, stiffness after walks, or unexplained fatigue, you're not lazy and you're not broken. You're simply missing the full picture of what your body needs now. It's time to stop measuring your health by how many steps you take and start measuring it by how well you balance movement, recovery, and strength. You deserve a future where you can rise from a chair without groaning, where stairs aren't an enemy, where a fall isn't lurking around the corner of every uneven sidewalk. That kind of future isn't built on endless walking. It's built on smart, gentle, full-body activity, tailored to the aging body's needs. So here's your challenge. This week, replace one long walk with a 10-minute strength session. Or try 5 minutes of balance training, join a senior fitness class, or start with the simplest thing. Notice how your body feels after your walk. Are you energized or drained? Are your joints thanking you or begging for rest? Listen to those signals, because they're the difference between surviving and thriving. If this video helped you rethink your routine, subscribe and turn on the bell. We publish new senior health tips every week, designed to keep you moving, thinking, and living fully. Type 1 in the comments if you learned something new today, or 0 if you think we missed anything important. And most importantly, share this video with a loved one over 70 who walks every day. It just might protect their health and change their future. Thanks for watching.